Have you ever stopped to imagine what it would feel like to stand
toe-to-toe with a skyscraper-sized monster?
The Monsterverse isn't just about epic fights and smashed cities, it's a world of incredible titans, each with their own wild powers and fascinating backstories. From Kong's heartfelt heroics to Rodan's fiery takeoffs and Shimo's icy dominance, these creatures are so much more than big, scary monsters. So, whether you're here for the chaos, the lore, or just to see who's the tallest, buckle up, it's time to meet the Monsterverse's biggest and baddest titans. At number 10, there's Rodan, often nicknamed the Fire Demon, and he's one of those titans that really leaves an impression despite not being the tallest on this list. Rodan's entire body kind of gives off this molten lava-infused vibe, as if he just stepped out of Earth's core for a quick flight around the block. He's not just about looking intimidating though, he's got those incredible speed feats, zipping through the skies at supersonic velocities, generating massive shockwaves that can flatten entire city blocks below. It's like the world's loudest and scariest sonic boom every time he decides to take off. In the story, Rodan emerges from Isla de Mara's volcano and ends up getting dragged into the whole Titan turf war. Initially, he goes up against King Ghidorah and ends up bending the knee to him, but later, after Godzilla triumphs over Ghidorah, Rodan is quick to acknowledge who the real king is. Rodan's always had this rough-around-the-edges charm. He's destructive, sure, but he's also sort of a survivor, doing whatever it takes to make it through the chaotic new world dominated by titans. He might be cranky and violent, but you can't deny he's one of the Monsterverse's most iconic flyers, a winged menace who can roast entire cities just by zooming overhead. Rodan stands at about 154 feet tall and weighs around 78 million pounds. At number 9, the Mudos step into the spotlight. The name stands for Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organisms, which honestly is just a fancy way of saying big scary monsters we didn't expect. The Mudos first showing up caused big trouble back in 2014, going toe-to-toe with Godzilla himself. They snacked on nuclear warheads as if they were energy bars. The female Mudo is the larger one. She's a hulking presence, lumbering across landscapes and looking like some terrifying hybrid of insect and reptile, with a bulky armored body and deadly limbs. They can communicate through echolocation, clicking and chirping in eerie tones that send chills down your spine. One of their signature moves is producing these electromagnetic pulses, knocking out human weaponry and basically sending us back to the Stone Age whenever we try to take them on. In the story, these creatures wanted nothing more than to reproduce and spread their kind around. Godzilla had other plans, of course, and they ended up on the wrong side of his atomic breath. Over time, we've learned more about their lifestyle. There's even a Mudo Prime lurking in the extended lore, responsible for planting eggs in other titans. They're parasitic, driven purely by instinct, and scary because they represent nature's way of putting humans in their place. The female Mudo, who's the one being measured here, comes in at around 300 feet tall and weighs about 50 million pounds. At number 8 is Methuselah. Now, Methuselah doesn't get as much screen time or attention as some of the other titans, but there's something undeniably cool about a creature so old and so camouflaged that it can literally nap disguised as a mountain. Methuselah basically played the ultimate game of hide-and-seek with humanity for who knows how many centuries. He has this giant craggy formation on his back, making him look more like living geology than a flesh-and-blood being. Legends say Methuselah terrorized European villages long ago before settling down and blending into the environment like some ancient immovable guardian. When King Ghidorah's call awakened titans worldwide, Methuselah rose, shaking off the earth and debris, revealing himself in all his ancient glory. After Ghidorah's defeat, he showed respect to Godzilla, bowing down to acknowledge the Alpha. Methuselah stands at about 322 feet tall and weighs a hefty 340 million pounds. At number 7, Kong takes center stage. Kong's journey in the Monsterverse starts on Skull Island, where he's basically the ultimate protector of a hidden ecosystem that's straight out of a prehistoric fever dream. He lost his family, survived attacks from nasty skull crawlers, and grew up completely alone defending the island's balance from all manner of oversized predators. Over the decades, Kong grows larger and wiser. By the time he crosses paths with Godzilla, the big ape is no longer just a local king. He's poised to step onto the world stage as a key Titan figure. Kong is special because he's not just brute strength, though he has plenty of that. He's got smarts, he can use tools, and he's surprisingly gentle with the island's natives. Fast forward to when he travels to the Hollow Earth and gets the ancient battle axe, he's basically a warrior who's learning about his own origins while figuring out how to coexist with Godzilla. Kong's big selling point is that human connection. He's easier for us to understand, not just a force of nature, but a creature that can bond and empathize, which makes his story all the more compelling. Plus, who doesn't love a titan that can swing around a giant axe and go toe-to-toe with the king of monsters? By 2024, Kong reaches about 337 feet tall and weighs in at around 181 million pounds. At number 6, Titanus Scylla steps out of the shadows. Scylla's one of those titans you probably remember from that quick montage in Godzilla King of the Monsters where we saw titans waking up all over the world. She has a unique and totally intimidating look, kind of like a giant spidery crustacean mashup. Picture huge spindly legs, a nautilus-like shell, and tentacle-like appendages that give her a freakishly alien vibe. What's cool about Scylla is the lore surrounding her abilities. She can manipulate temperatures and radiation in ways that affect the environment, slowing down the melting of polar ice caps or poisoning water sources if she ingests the remains of other titans. After Ghidorah falls, Scylla acknowledges Godzilla's dominance, but that doesn't mean she's his friend. She's the type of titan that leaves a lot of unanswered questions, which makes her even more interesting. Titanus Scylla stands around 341 feet tall and weighs about 40 million pounds. At number 5, Behemoth joins the countdown. It's not hard to love Behemoth. He looks like a giant mammoth fused with a gorilla, trudging along with massive tusks that could easily slice through concrete. He's like nature's wrecking ball, a huge, gentle-looking giant who still inspires a healthy dose of fear. Behemoth doesn't get a lot of backstory time on the big screen, but what we do know is that after being awakened by Ghidorah, he sets out causing chaos until Godzilla steps in and wins his respect. Afterwards, Behemoth becomes one of those titans roaming the planet under Godzilla's watchful rule. The fun part is that in extended lore, Behemoth is getting attention. In future comics, we might see more of him, maybe even a scenario where humans end up trapped inside him. Sounds crazy, right? Well, many titans look reptilian or insect-like. Behemoth stands out with that huge, hairy, mammoth-like appearance at about 354 feet tall and weighs roughly 181 million pounds. At number 4, Godzilla makes an appearance. It's kinda surprising that the star of the show, the king of the monsters himself, isn't even in the top 3 tallest titans here. Godzilla, Titanus Gojira, is the poster titan for the Monsterverse, the one who consistently steps in to restore balance. Imagine a colossal creature that's basically a living nuclear reactor with the ability to channel radiation into an atomic breath that can melt skyscrapers. He's been around for ages, worshipped as a god, feared as a force of nature, and now he's the planet's reluctant protector. He's not a friend to humans in the traditional sense, more like a guardian who steps in when the other titans threaten the natural order. Over the course of multiple films, Godzilla's had to evolve, adapt, and sometimes go nuclear, literally to fend off foes like the Mutos, Ghidorah, and even mechanical terrors like Mechagodzilla. Godzilla's durability, cunning, and that unstoppable alpha energy set him apart. Despite humanity's fear and constant attempts to control or destroy him, he endures, reminding everyone that the Earth belongs to the Titans just as much to us. Godzilla's gone from 355 feet in 2014 to about 393 feet by 2019 to 2024, weighing roughly 200 million pounds at his heaviest. At number 3, Mechagodzilla stomps onto the scene. Now, this one's a bit different because it's a mechanical titan, not a naturally occurring creature. Mechagodzilla is basically humanity's ambitious and ultimately ill-fated attempt to level the playing field. Apex Cybernetics built this giant metal monstrosity as a titan-slaying weapon. It had missile launchers, a devastating proton scream, a drill tail, and enough firepower to bring Godzilla to his knees. This wasn't just a big fancy robot, it was piloted through a neural interface connected to one of Ghidorah's skulls, which is like playing with fire. Once the alien consciousness within that skull took over, Mechagodzilla went rogue, destroying its own makers and going on a rampage through Hong Kong. It took the combined might of Godzilla and Kong to finally take this mechanical menace down, proving that even cutting-edge technology can't easily replace raw primordial power. Mechagodzilla stands at around 400 feet tall and weighs close to 200 million pounds. At number 2, King Ghidorah is the arch nemesis, a 3-headed alien dragon that practically screams doom every time he appears on screen. He's an invader from the stars, an apex predator from another world. Each of his 3 heads has its own personality, and together they they unleash gravity beams that can reduce cities to rubble in moments. Ghidorah's presence throws the entire planet into chaos, awakening titans around the globe and bending them to his will. He's a conqueror, not just of Earth, but of any ecosystem he sets foot on. Ghidorah's battles with Godzilla are legendary, with massive clashes that shake continents. Even after being defeated, a severed Ghidorah head found its way into human hands, leading indirectly to the creation of Mechagodzilla. His ancient rivalry with Godzilla is the stuff of myth, a timeless clash of unstoppable forces. King Ghidorah stands at about 521 feet tall and weighs around 281 million pounds, with a wingspan of about 1,300 feet. At number 1, there's Titanus Shimo, the largest on this list when she rears up on her hind legs. Shimo's a fascinating titan, an ancient reptilian creature capable of generating and manipulating ice. She's got a frostbite blast, a signature move that can freeze targets solid. Her story is full of tragedy and redemption. Initially forced into servitude by the Scar King, who used a crystal to control her, Shimo spent much of her time as an unwilling participant in the Titan conflicts, restrained and pained. Deep down, though, she's a benevolent force, longing to be free and at peace. When the heroes Godzilla, Kong, and their allies shatter that controlling crystal, Shimo's true nature emerges. She turns on her former captor, helping bring him down and restoring some balance to the world. Legends say she might have been one of the earliest titans, perhaps even playing a role in imprisoning Ghidorah in Antarctica long ago. Her design reflects her icy heritage, with blue scales and a sturdy build perfect for navigating both glaciers and rugged terrain. As an ancient titan with control over the element of ice, Shimo really broadens the horizons of what's possible in the Monsterverse. Titanus Shimo measures about 380 feet tall on all fours, and when standing on her two hind legs, she towers at roughly 575 feet. She also weighs a massive 400 million pounds. So we've talked about fiery Rodan, mysterious Methuselah, and even ice-powered Shimo. What a lineup! But this is just the beginning. With so many titans out there, who knows what jaw-dropping stories and clashes are waiting for us? Will we get more Kong Godzilla tag team action? A new rival stepping into the arena? Honestly, the sky's the limit. Which Titan story are you hoping to see next? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see ya. Bye!